Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something kind of radical. What if being smart isn't about having all the answers, but actually about asking the right questions? We're going to dive into that secret internal conversation that really brilliant minds have with themselves.
We're so used to thinking about intelligence in terms of how fast someone can solve a puzzle or answer a question. But what if the real genius isn't in the answer itself? What if it's all about the questions we're asking ourselves, maybe without even noticing?
And get this, psychology shows that for really intelligent people, this isn't some strategy they learned, it's just instinct. It's automatic. So while most of us just react to things as they happen, these thinkers are always questioning, always interrogating their reality. And because of that, they're building this incredibly detailed, rich map of the world.
All right, so let's get into it. The first pillar is all about how intelligent minds take apart the world around them just by asking a few key questions. Okay, picture this. A project at work just completely bombs, right? Most people would probably just shrug and say, well, that didn't work. But the intelligent mind, their first immediate thought is, why? And I don't mean the easy surface-level reason. I mean the real, deep-down root cause. They just can't help but dig past the obvious stuff. So this instinct for digging deep, it actually has a name. It's called causal reasoning. And it's basically like having X-ray vision, letting you see all the hidden gears and levers behind what's happening. And just that simple act of asking why is what keeps them from making the same mistake over and over again. It's why they learn and adapt so incredibly fast. All right, so after asking why, the next question reveals something else. It shows a mind that looks at rules and limitations not as walls, but, well, more like puzzles that are just begging to be figured out. This is what we call counterfactual thinking. It's super powerful. So when that project fails, they don't just see the failure. They mentally hit rewind. They start playing out all these different what-if scenarios in their head, testing out different strategies. And that is how real innovation happens. It's born from a setback, by literally learning from things that never even happen. Okay, so that's questioning the world out there. But what happens when you turn that same powerful questioning inward on yourself? This is our second pillar, and honestly, this is where it starts to get really interesting. You see, real intelligence isn't about having a big ego. It's actually the opposite. It's deeply tied to what's called intellectual humility. It's this constant, quiet habit of asking yourself, hey, what am I missing here? And always checking for your own blind spots.
This ability to think about your own thinking, it's called metacognition. Think of it like your brain's own quality control department. It's constantly scanning for bugs in its own programming. And that process is exactly what keeps a mind flexible and stops it from getting stuck in its own old, outdated ideas.
And what's so cool here is you can really see the difference. On one hand, you've got that rigid, ego-driven mindset that just can't stand being wrong. But on the other, you have this adaptable, self-aware way of thinking that actually sees being open to being wrong as a huge strength. And the funny thing is, that's what makes them right so much more often. Okay, so our final pillar takes us beyond just facts and into the real art of intelligence, making connections. We're talking about the ability to see that hidden web that ties together ideas that, on the surface, seem to have nothing to do with each other. See, an intelligent mind isn't just a collector of facts, like putting things in a box. No, it's constantly, automatically building bridges between ideas. It's always on the lookout for those connections that aren't immediately obvious. This is what we mean by systems-level thinking. It's the engine that drives those big aha moments. You know that feeling of a sudden flash of insight? Well, it's usually not that sudden at all. It's the result of all this deep background work your brain's been doing, connecting all these different bits of information into something new and whole. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, it's seeing how a strategy from an ancient empire might show up in a modern company's business plan, or using a principle from psychology to guess where the stock market is going. It's like a kind of mental alchemy, right? Turning these isolated bits of data into real wisdom. And that leads to this final, crucial habit, zooming out. It's so easy to get bogged down in the little day-to-day frustrations, right? But intelligent minds have this incredible ability to step back and place whatever is happening into a much bigger context. Honestly, this ability to see the bigger picture is like a mental superpower. It's what protects you from getting stressed out over stuff that doesn't matter. It helps you focus your energy where it counts, and that lets you make smart, long-term strategic decisions instead of just having knee-jerk emotional reactions. So let's bring this all home. The most important thing to remember is that intelligence isn't some fixed thing you either have or you don't. It's not static. It's an active, ongoing process. It's all about inquiry.
It means living in this constant state of asking thoughtful questions. It's letting your curiosity be your guide for growth and replacing those simple gut reactions with real, deep awareness.
So here's a simple way to remember all this, a little framework to take with you. First, interrogate reality. Always ask why. Second, check yourself. Ask, what am I missing? Third, connect the dots. And finally, and maybe most importantly, just stay curious.
Because at the end of the day, if you start consciously asking these questions, making them a part of your own internal conversation, you can literally sharpen your own mind and connect with the world in a much deeper way. Remember, the real power isn't in having all the answers. It's in knowing what to ask.